All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's get into the front pages of the newspapers now. And our first one that we're starting with is the Business Day. So let's put that one up and we can have a look at that, Sakina.
Certainly we shall. And their lead story this morning, PIC has no records for 4 billion rand stake in an oil firm. And the investment was made in obscure company with links to the ANC and former President Jacob Zuma. And the PIC invested $270 million, that's 3.9 billion rand, into Kamak Energy, which was subsequently renamed Aaron Energy when the little-known oil company founded by Nigerian businessman Kasi Lawal listed on the JSE in 2014. Another story on that front page there. Questions remain around resilient, stable, and of course also Tonga director leaves the beleaguered group. Those are some of the stories on the front page of Business Day.
All right, let's move on now to the next paper, which is the front page of The Citizen. The Citizen, big headline there saying, murders not race-related. This is a community policing body that's saying the murder of a young couple on the N12 by the Potfontein Bridge in Gauteng was the work of opportunistic criminals, despite social media posts suggesting the killings were racially motivated. Isn't that a devastating story?
It certainly was.
Oh, it was so sad. You know, any murder is sad, but to imagine running out of petrol, sitting waiting, and the next second you're murdered. So, I mean, this is something, unfortunately, we hear on a daily basis in South Africa, which is completely unacceptable. But this story really getting social media speaking, the loss of 2 young lives, which is always very, very sad. Then the picture underneath that, of course, is our pride and joy when it comes to mounting, summiting Mount Everest. Sarek Khumalo is welcomed by fans at OR Tambo International Airport yesterday as she returned home after her successful summit of Mount Everest, making her the first black African woman to do so. On a side note, I dreamt I was climbing Mount Everest last night. I just remembered my dream this second. I was with one of my very best friends and we were going up Mount Everest. It was a very different scenario there because there were B&Bs on the way up. So, oh my God, you know when your dream just hits you and then you think, okay, that happened. It really did happen. Imagine B&Bs just as you're going up the summit. It'll be lovely.
Take a rest, sleep over,
have
continue
a cup of
tomorrow.
Coffee, some twinkling lights. No, it's not like that. Okay, sorry, that was, anyway. Here's another one. Holy cow is the headline. And then it goes on to say, it's a long way from Berlin to India, where Frederik Irina Bruining devotes her life to sick and abandoned cows. Now, after intervention from the Hindu nationalist government, she's been allowed to stay. So there's that story. The holy cow caregiver can stay in India. And yeah, those are the big ones on the front page of The Citizen.
And then moving on to the Star, also a picture of Sarek Khumalo there. And we were discussing whether her name is actually Sarah, Saray, because there's an AY at the end. So at this point, we're not quite sure, what her name actually is. And maybe we should put a call through and just get some clarity on that.
So,
Absolutely. President consults ANC top 6. This, of course, President Cyril Ramaphosa used yesterday's meeting of the ANC top 6 as part of his consultation on his new cabinet, and his office said he would announce that cabinet later this week. And then their lead story, EFFDA looks set to do a city power sharing deal. The Red Berets may be given positions to head portfolios in Johannesburg and the mayoral chain in Tshwane, and they have been saying this, so it all remains to be seen. And then family of shooting victims left devastated. That story you spoke about, a picture there of Jessica Kuhn, who's 21, and Johanko Fleischman, 19. The family of a Benoni woman who was shot and killed along with her boyfriend after their vehicle ran out of diesel on Sunday were expected to identify their bodies later today.
Oh, so sad. All right, then we move on to the front page of the Sowetan, and there is our heroine once again summiting Mount Everest, and such a warm welcome yesterday, Sarek Khumalo, the first black African woman to summit Mount Everest. Congratulations to her. And then that big story, because I saw last night, Fikile Malula was tweeting a big headline saying Didi to be sworn in as MP today. Well, that was the story in the Sowetan that he had taken that from. And there's that story. ANC Deputy President to be sworn in today as he prepares to take the path as SA's second in command. So they go into detail on this story, and ANC Deputy President David Mabuza said to be sworn in following his meeting with the ANC's Integrity Commission. Mabuza is confident he will be cleared and is ready to take up his seat in Parliament. So that's according to a party insider, so there's no confirmation. It's just that this is, they've been getting talk of the town, and apparently what had happened was that all the seats were taken, and when the swearing in was taking place last week, Mabuza was placed by a lady named Judy Hermans on the ANC's MP list, meaning that there were no vacant seat left. However, Nomvula Mokonyane's decision to resign from Parliament has now left an open seat which Mabuza can occupy. So we'll see what happens today. Let's not jump to any conclusions, but that's what the Sowetan is leading with.
Well, those are your newspaper headlines. Not going to ask you what your money's on.
Yeah.
It will all come to light sooner rather than later.